everyone, my name is Christy and I am an English-speaking volunteer in Europe. And a couple of my friends and I put together a video series to help people like you practice your English more. So we took 20 themes based around the theme of wellness. And so what does wellness mean? It means to be in the state or condition of good physical and mental health. We believe in wellness for young people, and so we picked a bunch of different wellness themes, and these themes all end in the suffix AL. So today's wellness word is ethical. And so you might be wondering, ethical, I think I've heard that before. Maybe you've heard of business ethics or medical ethics, or at your school you might have Christian ethics. So ethics is basically the behavior of doing what is right, of making good and right choices, choices that are honest and fair, okay? So you kind of get an idea of ethics. So here I am, I'm sitting in my favorite yellow chair, and I want to tell you that it's no secret that some countries kind of struggle with ethics, meaning maybe they have corruption, maybe they have some unethical things that are making society a worse place, that the decisions that people are making are not good for society, they're not good for the people around them. So for example, when I got up this morning, I put on two things to remind me of this ethical theme of making good choices. So the first thing is I have a necklace that my best childhood friend Kate gave me, and this is the symbol of Chicago. Hi Kate, thank you if you're watching. I'm from Chicago, and in Chicago there's a reputation of being kind of unethical, that there's unethical politicians and they don't make choices that are good for society, that are excellent for the people, okay? I also put on, to fight against corruption and unethical practices, I put on my favorite sweatshirt which says, "We will change the world." Because I believe that young people like you really do want to see reform and change. But in order to do that, I guarantee ethics, morals, Christian values, those are all key pieces to the ethical reform process, okay? So maybe think about yourself and think, do I make good decisions with my life? Do I make bad decisions with my life? Do I even recognize this topic in my life? So social scientists, which is like sociologists, psychologists, different doctors recognize that there is an ethical decision-making process, okay? So the first step is awareness. Do you know that there are ethical problems around you? Where might you find those things? Where might it be hard to make a good choice or easy to make a bad choice? So once you know about ethical situations, then your next step is that you need to decide, okay, this is ethical, this is unethical. You recognize that, and you recognize which one is better. The third step is that you have to actually want to act ethically. Like, you know what's the right choice and the wrong choice, but you actually want to make the right choice, because sometimes making the right choice is really hard. And sometimes it's not best for us because maybe we don't get what we want, but we know it's the right thing to do. It's kind of like obeying the law. Some people don't obey the law because they want their way instead of what the government says is right. And sometimes we just have to realize, what is best for the people around me, for me, and for all of society, okay? So I hope that you'll have the courage to act morally, because that's the fourth step. The ethical and moral action is the most important thing. So once you know the right thing to do, are you actually going to do it, okay? So you can keep those 4 steps in mind. Now there's some idioms and phrases that go along with this topic. So I'd like to introduce you to a few. Number 1, actions speak louder than words. So for example, I'm here in my chair, I'm having a party, my friends are over, and I'm sitting like this. I love this party. I'm so glad everybody's here. My actions are showing that I don't really love this party, and I'm not glad everyone is here. My actions are speaking louder than my words, okay? Number 2 is to give or pay a bribe. That is when you give money for some kind of service or something that is maybe illegal or not allowed. So I say, hey, I know we're not supposed to do this, but let me give you this and you'll give me what I want. And God says that the person who gives the bribe and the person who takes the bribe are both hurt by making those kinds of decisions. So giving bribes or paying bribes is one side, and the receiver accepts or takes a bribe, okay? That's definitely an ethical situation. Number 3 is to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. So let's just give the example. Here I am, I'm climbing behind my yellow chair, and I'm kind of here. This is the rock, and this is the hard place. And if I say, oh gosh, I have to make a decision, but I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, that means that if I go in this direction, it's hard, and it's probably not gonna be good. And if I go in this direction, it's hard, and it's probably not gonna be good. Okay, so that's called to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Really hard to make the decision, okay? My next one is to cut corners, okay? So let's say this paper is your future. Here you are, here is graduation, okay? You graduate from university, from school, and your goal is to get to the finish line. But you decide, instead of going straight, you are going to cut corners. So you kind of go this other way because you think it's faster. You think it's a better way and no one's gonna know. Well, the truth is sure, maybe you got to the end, but you missed out on all of this stuff that was really important. So to cut corners is to do something and really to take the short path that isn't really the good path, okay? So don't cut corners, don't take bad shortcuts. And lastly, I have this toilet paper here, okay? Now pretend there was no coronavirus, there were no memes or drama or jokes about toilet paper, okay? Let's just say this regular toilet paper roll. And the idiom is to rip someone off, okay? So if I say to you, hey, I got this great deal, I'll sell you this toilet paper for $5, and you buy it, I just ripped you off. Because the toilet paper cost only 50 cents, maybe, and I took way more money than was right in that situation. So it was really good for me, and it was really bad for you. And there's really no reason that I should have asked for $5 for the toilet paper. So I ripped you off, okay? I hope some of those idioms are helpful for you. And now is time for the hashtag Daily Wellness Challenge. And I just want to give you one challenge because this is one of my favorite topics to study and talk about with young people. And so there's a website coming out of a Texas university called, let me tell you what it's called. It's called Ethics Unwrapped. So I'm gonna leave the website, and on this website, there's over 130 videos on how to become ethical, how to learn about ethics, how to make good decisions in all different areas of your life. It's a site created specifically for young people, for college students, and there's also a bunch of case studies on there where you can read about certain situations and you have to say like, okay, what would I do if I was in that situation? How would I act fair or honest, or would I be dishonest or unfair? Really interesting. I love this resource. So don't forget to put a hashtag Daily Wellness Challenge. Tell us what video or case study you watched. And thank you for learning about ethical wellness, and I hope you make great choices today. Thank you.